It's March Madness as the 2022 NCAA Tournament bracket is out. I am Tom Downey for Chat Sports, here to break it all down. We begin in the East region. Number 1 seeded Baylor against Norfolk State. Number 8 North Carolina. Number 9 Marquette. That's the game we'll focus in on as we wait and see if Baylor can make it back-to-back. It's pretty damn tough to do. Not your daddy's North Carolina teams. They got to shoot better. They got some guys there. Armando Bacot, one of them. Marquette, Shaka Smart, how good will he be now that he's back in Texas for this game? St. Mary's, the number 5 seed. Indiana and Wyoming getting the play-in game while UCLA takes on Akron. A&M, one of the first teams out in this one. Indiana, Wyoming. Indiana's had some bit of a collapse, let's be honest. They were 16-5 at the end of January, now 20-13. Oops. UCLA is a very intriguing matchup for me at this point because which UCLA team shows up? They made a miracle run to an extent last year with Mick Cronin. Can they do the same thing this year against the Mid-American Conference champion, Akron? Back to that play-in game, though. Who you got? Wyoming or Indiana? Type in WYO for Wyoming or IND for Indiana. The East region now. Texas against Virginia Tech. How about the Hokies, by the way? They win the ACC tournament, and I don't think they get in if they don't win that conference tournament. A fantastic showing by the Hokies. Some of their players getting hot at the right time. Texas, meanwhile, backing into the tournament. 3 straight losses. Purdue against Yale. Can the Boilermakers kind of get right after some maybe not the best postseason success? They've got some players this year. Keep an eye on Jaden Ivey to ball out. The bottom half now of the East region. Murray State, San Francisco. The Murray State's lost just two games this year. None of them since December, but not that many good wins. That's why a 30-2 squad is only a 7 seed. San Francisco, by the way, started the year incredibly hot. They began the year 10-0. That could be a fun upset pick. They were 13-1 at one point. While Kentucky looks like a very real threat in the East as they've been for quite a while now. They might be a popular pick of the non-1 seeds to make it to the Final Four. But who do you think will win this year's NCAA tournament? Or as my dad always calls it, the NC2A tournament. I don't know why he says 2A, just the way he does it there. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So, if the ad break comes here on YouTube, I want you guys to take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know while the ad plays who wins this year's NCAA tournament. To the South region now. We got the 16 play-in game, Wright State, Bryant, whatever. Arizona, 31-3. They have been incredible so far this year. 4 guys with double figures. In what I think is a pretty good year overall for the 8-9 matchups. Seton Hall and TCU is a very intriguing matchup. 2 good guards for Seton Hall. Hopefully I don't mispronounce any names today, as I already mispronounced something. Jaden Rhoden, Bryce Aiken in there. TCU kind of been carried by Mike Miles so far this year. The bottom of the top half of the South. You guys know what I mean there. Houston and UAB. Houston, a 5 seed, showing once and for all, net is stupid. Now, no Marcus Sasser for Houston, but they got 4 guys in double figures. The 4-13 matchup is going to cause some people concern. Illinois was a disappointment last year in the NCAA tournament, and now they get Chattanooga. Malachi Smith is a blast. By the way, you might not know this, but the Mocs have Silvio De Souza as well. The Kansas legend is now playing for Chattanooga. Let that sink in for a second. Illinois, I'm sure, will lean heavily on Kofi Cockburn. Or excuse me, Coburn, thank you. Who is your pick, your Cinderella pick? I already mispronounced the name. Go figure, right? Who is your Cinderella pick this year? Who you got as that underdog that you're feeling great about making that miracle run? Let me know who you're feeling in the comments section right now. Ohio State, the number 7 seed here, against Loyola and Chicago. Why I went out of order, I don't know. We'll jump back to the top of the South region here. Colorado State and Michigan. Now, Michigan snuck in. They are 17-14, and they got the 11 seed over Indiana, which I think surprised many of people. Tennessee fans, by the way, big mad over only being a 3 seed. There were some that thought they could be a 1. They did win the SEC. They weren't even a 2. It's a bit of a disrespectful seeding, I think, for Tennessee. They now get Longwood as the 14. The other half of the South here, Ohio State against Loyola Chicago. Can Sister Jean make it happen again? That is going to be a very trendy upset pick. The 10 over the 7. Ohio State will lean heavily on E.J. Liddell, who somehow does still have eligibility. Villanova is the 2 seed coming out of the South. They get Delaware in the 15 as the 15 seed. If you want to bet on college basketball, the NCAA tournament, beyond just doing the bracket, which they always end up getting busted for me. I almost won last year, and then Gonzaga couldn't get it done. Chatsports.com/bet, a 125% deposit bonus when you put down at least $100. You owe it to yourself to at least put down $5 or $10 on who you think wins the NCAA tournament. Here are the updated odds. Gonzaga, we'll get to them later on, plus 450. Arizona, plus 600. Kentucky, plus 700. Not a bad bet value-wise. If you want Baylor to go again, plus 1,000. Maybe you're feeling Duke, which I certainly am not, plus 1,100. Remember, $100 down gets you the deposit bonus of 125% up to 600. It's chatsports.com/bet, promo code CHAT125. Stop me if you've heard this before. Kansas, a 1 seed. Yet another good Kansas team this year. They are carried. I'm going to try to pronounce the name here. Ochai Agbaji. So I might have got that right. I think I did there. They're the number 1 seed. 8-9 matchup. Again, a lot of good 8-9s this year. How about San Diego State taking on Creighton? I love Matt Bradley for the Aztecs, and never, ever discount Creighton. They always have the threat to do a pretty good run. By the way, 2 Ryans carrying their team. Hawkins and, just lost the name, Hawkins and Kalkbrenner as well. Iowa is the 5 seed. They take on Richmond. Richmond, I think, knocked out Texas A&M off the bubble as the Spiders shocked and won their conference tournament. Providence then takes on South Dakota State. And if you want to talk about upset city, this is a possibility. South Dakota State's got some good players. Providence is not well liked by, say, Ken Pom, for example. They only play close games. That's all they've done all year long. Now, they've won, as you can tell by their record, a ton of them. But the luck ran out against Creighton in the Big East tournament. Now the question is, can they continue to move and make a run? The Midwest against the 5 seed in Iowa, that is doable for Creighton if they can get by. They're as good as Keegan Murray is this year. But Providence is going to be a popular upset pick given just how much luck, if we're factoring in luck as winning a bunch of close games this year. We're not done with the bracket yet, but you've probably seen a good amount of it. Name your final 4 picks. Who makes it out of each region? I have not yet made my own bracket. I will do that tonight, get my family involved too. But I want you to predict who you think makes the Final 4 this year. This next grouping, I honestly don't love that much. Iowa State, one of the last teams in, they get to take on LSU. Now, they got good players. Tari Easton's been superstar benchman. LSU fired their head coach, Will Wade, because of the recruiting violations and whatnot. So LSU, a 6 seed, enters the tournament without their head coach, which is just absolute chaos. You never, ever see that there. Colgate won their conference tournament. They get Wisconsin, who is going to be a popular upset pick, even though with Johnny Davison, the most hated player in America, maybe, Brad Davison. There's a lot of concern out of this little grouping of the Midwest. I don't like it. That's probably why I'll just pick Wisconsin to make it to the Sweet 16. USC against Miami, Florida. No, not a premier football matchup, but a damn good college basketball one. Isaiah Mobley playing great for USC. Auburn is the 2 seed, by the way, in the Midwest region. Jabari Smith has been incredible. I like Wendell Green a lot at point guard. They should handle their business on this bottom half. I feel good, knock on wood, about Auburn being an Elite 8 team this year. Now, we here at Chat Sports don't just cover college basketball. We actually don't do that much of it. Instead, we do a lot of NFL, NBA, college football, etc., and NFL free agency gets going tomorrow. Join us live as we break down all of the news as it happens right here on Chat Sports. West Coast, best coast for last year. Gonzaga, the number 1 seed. I want this to be their year. They have such a loaded roster. Drew Timme is still there. Chet Holmgren could be the number 1 overall pick. He's looked better as the year has gone on. They are the 1 seed out in the West. The 8-9 matchup, Boise State versus Memphis. And I want to give credit here to Memphis. They were once 9-8. Everybody and their brother bodying that organization, Penny Hardaway, etc. Now look at them. 21-10. They got 5 guys with 10-plus points per game. I don't think Amani Bates is going to be able to play. Jalen Duran is still there at center. Memphis, though, they would have a very tough matchup against Gonzaga if they can beat a good Boise State squad. UConn, are they back? Yeah, people are talking. The 5 seed against the 12 seed New Mexico State in that matchup. Watch for Teddy Allen for New Mexico State, by the way. Arkansas, I think I'm a bit surprised they're a 4 seed. The committee this year loves the Big Ten. They did not love the SEC quite as much. I like Arkansas to make some noise. If Arkansas and Memphis had been on different sides of the bracket, I think I'd have them going further than what I'm going to have them doing. Alabama, the 6th seed, as the Crimson Tide are not just a football team anymore. Jaden Shackelford's a damn good player there. They will then get the 11-6 playing game. Rutgers and Notre Dame in a very intriguing matchup from that one. Rutgers or Notre Dame? Who you got winning? RUT for Rutgers, ND for Notre Dame. Let me know who you've got coming out of that play-in game. I can't wait to watch Tuesday night basketball. It gives me something to do there. Texas Tech, the 3 seed then in the West region. Montana State, the 14 seed. Texas Tech, there are some fans of the Red Raiders who would say, hey, they got to have a better record than what, or a better seed than what they do. 25-9. They play absolutely fantastic defense. So I am excited to see how they can make a run there as the 3 seed. They should be, at minimum, a Sweet 16 squad. Number 7, Michigan State. They take on Davidson. Yeah, the Fightin' Curries are back once again. And guess what? They've got shooters once again. I hate Michigan State for bracket picking because I can never get them right. I either have them losing early and they go on a deep run, or I have them making some noise and they get bounced like in the Sweet 16 or earlier. So as a 7 seed, they would get Duke. Now, the Blue Devils in what is supposed to be Coach K's final year, we'll see if that's really the case. Something tells me he could return. I'm just kidding there. They got some great talent. Haven't quite lived up to it so far this season. So which teams got snubbed? I know producer Sam says Oklahoma. Sorry, buddy. Texas A&M getting left out behind Wyoming and Indiana and Michigan being so high was a bit of a shocker. Let me know which team that was on the wrong side of the bubble should have been higher up right now.